And once we up live, I'm just gonna say hello, everyone. Happy Easter, and then you will move into Eddie Watkins, Jim.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Reverend Jerry Hobby, and happy Easter. We're so happy you're with us, and we're going to get started. We're going to start off with a song by Eddie Watkins. It's Reverend Jerry Hobby.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You
lives,
are the place.
moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You
lives,
are the
moves and
place.
breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I want you to clap your hands and sing it with me. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Hello, everyone. This is Reverend Jerry Hobby, and I'm just so excited to be with you today. I'll tell you why I'm excited is because today is Easter. Someone came on our Zoom link and they said, Happy Resurrection Day. And it is definitely a day where we get to be resilient. We get to allow for transformation in our lives and we get to go to what we know to be true about life. So we're going to get started. And I noticed that we have Reverend Dr. Renee Hart on the line today. I'm going to invite her to do a short invocation, and then we will get started. Happy Easter, Reverend Dr. Renee.
Good morning, Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Good to be here with everyone today. So let's just take this God breath and we're going to breathe. And so in this moment, what we're knowing as God is all that there is. Knowing that God's Spirit is moving in us and through us and all around us in this moment, in this second. And so as we take this God breath, we breathe. Knowing this day is a powerful day. Knowing this day is a powerful day. Knowing this moment, as we take this breath, we breathing through life. And we giving thanks for this life. We give thanks for the master teacher, Jesus. We're just knowing all is well. We bless each and every one of you today. Knowing all is well, knowing all is perfect, knowing all is in divine right order. And we give thanks for this truth. And knowing this, we just release our words into the universal law. We know that it is perfect and we know it is complete. And if we're in agreement with this prayer, we will say, and so it is.
And
Amen.
so is Amen.
Ashe.
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 Yes, how powerful. Thank you so much, Reverend Dr. Renee. And I love the fact that we are calling Jesus the master teacher. He definitely was a master teacher. We have an opportunity to celebrate with many master teachers, but today is a sacred day. And the reason today is a sacred day is that experience is an experience that is relived, and it's been relived over 2,000 years. The experience of this transformation that took place. But that transformation is a natural part of nature. And if you go to different parts of the world and you study with different people from different walks of life, we find that that transformation is a celebration that takes place everywhere. But its story is a magnificent story. And the reason this story is magnificent, it reminds us of the truth of our being. So today I am lighting this candle. And the reason I'm lighting this candle is to remind us about the light that exists within each and every one of us. And today is dedicated to us all. That was wow. Did you see how that happened? That light just burst. There's light that is alive within each and every one of us. And what I'm going to say is, and we're going to mute everyone, is that there is a part of us that has never, ever been disturbed, hurt, or harmed. And in that, we get an opportunity to celebrate that part of us that has never, ever been hurt or harmed today. So I'm going to invite you to allow that part of you to come to the surface. I'm going to invite you to open your heart wider than you've ever opened it before. I'm going to invite you to cradle your heart. And I'm going to invite you to nurture your heart today. And the reason we're cradling, we're nurturing our heart is because the heart is the place of healing. And this story that we're celebrating is about the heart of healing. So let's open our hearts wider and just allow for that infinite wisdom to expand itself. We're going to start with a special song. And this is a gift from our wonderful practitioner, Jim Thompson. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace.
instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me so love. Where there is injury, pardon. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is doubt, let me sow faith. Where there's despair, bring your hope. Lord, make me a
So here's a moment of pause, and we just simply breathe. We get to relive the footsteps of the master teacher. And as we're reliving the footsteps of the master teacher, we see that one of our students, life is in session, just as it was in session for Jesus. You know, resurrection is about all that Jesus went through to overcome. So life is mirroring itself right now. So it's a beautiful song. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. And here we are. Jim is back with us. And Jim, are we able to continue with the song? I cannot hear you.
To be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love, for it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born. To eternal life.
I hope you're breathing, that your heart is open wider than you've ever opened it before. I want you to notice and hear the quality and the heart that went into that song. A song that was anchored in that space of purity. by St. Francis of Assisi, a prayer actually. And now I'm going to invite Jim to share another writing. And this is from Howard Thurman.
Isn't it wonderful that we both enjoy the same author? This one is entitled The Glad Surprise. There is something compelling and exhilarating about the glad surprise. The emphasis is upon glad. There are surprises that are shocking, startling, frightening, and bewildering. But the glad surprise is something different from all of those. It carries with it the element of elation, of life, of something over and beyond the surprise itself. The experience itself comes at many levels. The simple joy that comes when one discovers that the balance in the bank is larger than the personal record indicated, and there is no error in accounting. The realization that one does not have his door key, the hour is late, and everyone is asleep, but someone very thoughtfully left the latch off, just in case. The dreaded meeting in the conference to work out some problems of misunderstanding, and things are adjusted without the emotional lacerations anticipated. The report from the doctor's examination that all is well, when one was sure that the physical picture was very serious indeed. All of these surprises are glad. There is a deeper meaning in the concept of the glad surprise. This meaning has to do with the very ground and foundation of hope about the nature of life itself. The manifestation of this quality in the world about us can best be witnessed in the coming of spring. It is ever a new thing, a glad surprise, the stirring of life at the end of winter. One day there seems to be no sign of life, and then almost overnight, swelling buds, delicate blooms, blades of grass, bugs, insects, an entire world of newness everywhere. It is the glad surprise at the end of winter. Often the same experience comes at the end of a long tunnel of tragedy and tribulation. It is as if man, stumbling in the darkness, having lost his way, finds the spot at which he falls is the foot of a stairway that leads from darkness into light. Such is the glad surprise. This is what Easter means in the experience of the race. This is the resurrection. It is the announcement that life cannot ultimately be conquered by death, that there is no road that is the last swallowed up in the ultimate darkness, that there is strength added when the labors increase, that multiplied peace patches, multiplied trials, that life is bottomed by the glad surprise. Take courage, therefore, when we have exhausted our store of endurance, when our strength has failed ere the day is half done. When we reach the end of our hoarded resources, our Father's full giving is only begun.
Well said. Well said. And I take this moment now and I hold this up for you. And it is a packet of good. There's so much good here within this packet. This is a packet, a immune system package that I normally carry with me when I'm traveling to assist with strengthening my immune system. And I'm going to untie the knot right now about the stories that we're told, the doom and the gloom that is alive within our bodies right now. Our body is a temple of God. And I untie this knot now, and knowing that our time together is a time of strengthening. It is also a time where we get to strengthen our immunity to life. This is to all of humanity. And so with that in mind right now, Jim, we have another song, and it's a sacred prayer, and it is the Lord's Prayer. And this prayer is shared with us by Larry Hobby. Okay, Jim.
Happy Easter, everyone. This first song is for you. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. In earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory
Beautiful, beautiful song. And now we hear from Larry Hobby. Larry, we cannot hear you. Please unmute.
I was muted. Well, I hope you enjoyed that rendition of the Lord's Prayer through song. It's important that we understand the context of this prayer, as it is powerful and most of all, a healing tool. So first of all, he did his prayers in nature. That is why I sit with the background of Gethsemane, and many people know it as the place where he was arrested. It was actually like a sacred space. You know, that's where he often met with his disciples. And we call it a safe space. Now, the prayer was a teachable moment. And the actual translation from his original language, which was Aramaic, was that we should pray in this manner. It was a descriptive prayer. And I'm going to share a version and translation from Neil Douglas Cloutz, a linguist, author, and scholar on Jesus and his works. I invite you to join me on this journey in nature and imagine yourself in the Garden of Gethsemane. Breathe and cradle yourself as I share this version. O thou, the breathing life of all, creator of the shimmering sound that touches us. We all look elsewhere for this light. It draws us out of ourselves, but the name always lives within. From this divine union, let us birth new images for a new world of peace. Help us love beyond our ideas and sprout acts of compassion for all creatures. Grant what we need each day in bread and insight, substance for the call of a growing life. Forgive our hidden past, the secret shames, as we consistently forgive what others hide. Don't let surface things delude us, but free us from what holds us back from our true purpose. Truly, power to these statements may they be the ground from which all my actions grow, sealed in trust and faith. Amen.
Oh, thank you, Larry. How beautiful. How beautiful. You know, it's quite interesting. Sometimes I'm in the moment and I'm so inspired. And I have such a deep love for the Lord's Prayer. Many years ago, we did it in Jesus's language. I actually was so inspired that with one of my aroma scents, I created a scent and it was named after the Lord's Prayer, Abun Dabashmaya, which is the first words in the Aramaic language of the Lord's Prayer. I am making a commitment to myself again, and that commitment is to learn it in Aramaic so that I can speak it in Aramaic. It changes the vibration and the different wording that we use. If we continue to intone those words, it does make a difference. So I'm going to share a version of the Lord's Prayer. And this is a version that I've been doing with my colleagues over and over again. And it is Divine Origin Within. Holy is your name in nature. Your kingdom is come. Your will is done within me now. Give me this day everything I need. Forgive my lack of confidence to command the law. Gift for my emptiness, the substance. Don't let me be tempted. Keep me from wrong thinking. And for that is the kingdom and the power and the glory within me and evermore. So I am going to invite you right now to just open your heart even wider. And the great thing about the Lord's Prayer is that we get an opportunity to practice it. There's some great things that you need to know too about the Lord's Prayer. There's power in the song, and it is also a power where we get an opportunity to experience the gift of good all the time. And that gift of good shows up in how we respond and how we use it. In Jesus's day, they would gather, and not only would they pray, but their prayer was done in body prayers. And there is a dance that we can do. So in the coming months, you may get an opportunity to experience all of those things. The most important part is finding our way back to ourselves, being clear within us and who we are. It is the recognition of the presence of God as that Trinity that dwells within us. Ernest Holmes reminds us, and I'm paraphrasing him now. He says the only thing that God would want for man is to leave man alone to discover himself. And that is what the essence of this experience is all about. And if you have been following the story of Jesus, he started off a week ago, Palm Sunday, came into a town. There were so many great things that were happening. He was teaching, he was with everyone. And in that entire process, some things happened. There were struggles in life. We had Judas. He had some struggles. He was trying to figure things out financially. We have all of those things. We have Peter, who is struggling with his faith. But the anchoring that Jesus stayed with in terms of, he was just like Job. I will not let you go until you have blessed me. That opened him up to something even greater. And today is about the overcoming. The day is the rising above. And in this moment, right here, right now, I'm going to untie the knot again. And this knot has to do with strengthening our immune system when it comes to our emotions and our mental understanding. So I untie that knot. Now, in that knot, there is ignorance. And sometimes in that ignorance is just not understanding God. And there is a part of our lives, which is, we talk about the spirit, the soul, and the body. Sometimes we talk about it as universal law. And when we talk about universal law, what we're saying is the law responds to us regardless. So if we're in a state of ignorance, it will manifest chaos. So what we're doing right now is untying that. We're opening up to something even greater. Ignorance is continuing doing the same thing again and again, and it's not working. I'm inviting you to open your heart and to open up to the many possibilities. That was what he did. Now, how does that translate in today's language? Well, it's looking at us in the face right now. A year ago today, we would have had so many things that were going on. We were facing a pandemic, and we were told that normally when you're looking for a vaccine to deal with a situation like this, it would normally take us how many years? Maybe 3, 4, 5 years. But when we began to pray, when we began to focus on the answer showed up, and it has shown up in multiple ways. This is part of that experience. And that's the same thing that unfolds within our lives. We are so much more than we appear to be. We are divine manifestations of spirit. And being a divine manifestation of spirit, we get to remember that deep within us is something wonderful, flowering and growing. We are instruments of the divine. And being an instrument of the divine, we get an opportunity to remember that there is always growth. So if you're looking at my background right now, you will find that there is something growing in the background. As we continue to remove the stones away, we get an opportunity to experience more and more grander growth. So I'm inviting you to understand who you are, that you are so much more, and to release any sense of obstacles, any stones that may be in your way. I'm inviting you right now to open your heart even wider and look at what you can shift within your life to open up the way for new energy and for new growth. So, with that in mind right now, I want you to consider this here, that there is a garden within you, and that garden is beautiful. It's just as beautiful as the Garden of Gethsemane. It's just as beautiful as this beautiful garden. And what I want you to know is that you are so much more. You are this spiritual being here as an instrument of spirit, and that there is a richness. There's power in your growth. So when we say those words, Ashe, remember, it's like a fertilizer. When we say, and I'm draped in Om today, it's a fertilizer. When we affirm life, it is a fertilizer. I want you to know too, that when we affirm something that is not of God, it can be a fertilizer also. And it can create falsehoods in your life. It can create a sense of separation. And so that is the reason we continue to turn towards something greater. In his struggle of the 7 last words, he continued to turn to God, even when he felt as if he had been forsaken. I'm inviting you to continue to do that yourself. And so in celebration of that, we're going to move into prayer right now. I'm going to begin the prayer with a special song. And that song is The Garden Within You.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true. A beautiful garden, that garden is you. Such a beautiful garden, that garden is you.
We just simply breathe. We release any of the disturbances. We just focus on spirit right now. We simply remember and we continue to go to that sacred space. And so in this very moment, I'd like to share a reading with you. This comes from The Science of Mind, and it talks about the Trinity of Being. It says, this Trinity of Being appears to run through all nature and all life. For instance, there is electricity, the way it works and its results, which is light or motive power. There is the seed, the creative medium of the soil and the planet. Turn it as we may, we are confronted with the necessity of a trinity of being. Throughout the ages, the Trinity has been taught. Every great religion, every great spiritual philosophy has taught this Trinity. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost is the Christian Trinity. It is the thing, the way it works, and what it does. The thing is absolute intelligence. The way it works is absolute law. And what it does is the result, manifestation, the action of the thing itself is what the Bible calls the power of the word, or absolute intelligence. And with that in mind right now, I'm inviting you to engage with me with the power of the word, absolute intelligence. As we move and continue in this celebration of resurrection, knowing that the power of the word fulfills itself in every way. And I'm speaking right now from that space of the place of the Most High, in the space where the divine naturally, organically fulfills itself and enriches itself. I'm acknowledging it within the thought patterns. I'm acknowledging it as the divine pattern of my spoken word. I'm acknowledging it as the divine manifestation. I'm acknowledging it as that divine energetic that always fulfills itself according to our thought, according to the feeling nature. And so in this very moment, right here, right now, I acknowledge the divine as God in action, God expanding, God revealing itself, God overflowing in itself, God as that infinite pattern of perfect good. And in this very moment, right here, right now, what I simply know is that that divine presence is right where I am. It is alive and it's fully present. It's right where each and every single person is that is a part of this particular room, this sacred safe space. I'm acknowledging it right now within our Facebook audience. And I know that something divine has gone before and prepared the way, that there is the excavation of those things that no longer serve us, that there is the untying of knots that continue to prevent any sense of good unfolding in our lives. So in this very moment, right here, right now, I'm acknowledging the healing pattern of the divine. I'm acknowledging the removal of stones. I'm acknowledging the untying of knots, the untethering of those things that no longer serve. And I'm acknowledging the divine light, the divine blessing of spirit. I'm acknowledging the true essence of our being, and its growth is manifestation and the spirit of wholeness within us. And in this wholeness, I simply know that divine love fulfills itself. I simply know that there is a divine transformation, and that which we have been seeking has fulfilled itself and is revealing itself. Just as Jesus, the master teacher, was able to step out of the tomb and be in that space of transformation. And in this very moment, right here, right now, what I know is that only good can expand itself. I know that our lives are blessed, but what I know most of all is our discovery of that sacred relationship that dwells within us, the light of brightness, that light of wisdom, and that light that beholds, that is undisturbed, continues to grow. It fulfills itself in a practical way. And in that practical expression right now, I know that the Holy of Holies fulfills itself within us. And I'm affirming it right now as that birth, that wisdom, and that light of love. I know that it fulfills itself right now within our relationships with each other. I know that the spirit of wholeness is divine light. I know that it is that divine element within our body temple, that the spirit and the light of wholeness reveals itself right now. And I know that that same light that I speak of is the transforming energy that is moved within our finances. It's moved within our careers. It has moved, and it is the divine fulfillment with anything that is going on in our lives right now. But what I know most of all is that this energetic, this power, this presence has already preceded us. It has gone before, and it has prepared the way. And I give thanks for that triune nature of spirit, yielding itself, expressing itself on all levels. It is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I know it as that divine essence of spirit, that divine essence of law in the body. I know it as the cause, and I know it as the effect. I know it as that divine light of love. And I'm so grateful right now for this sacred relationship, the nature of spirit fulfilling itself and enriching itself. And what I know about this divine presence is that it is perfect and it is good. It is life, and that life is abundant. It is resilient, and it fulfills itself, and it dwells within each and every one of us. And I'm so grateful for this divine awakening. I'm grateful for the good that is fulfilling itself right now for each and every one of us. And it is in this space, right here and right now, that I simply release my words right now into the action of universal law, knowing that it is perfect and knowing that it is good. And I affirm, I invite you to affirm these sacred words. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Aho. And Om. It is done. We breathe and we open ourselves up through a prayer, through song, with holy, holy, holy.
before thee, which word can evermore shall be. Holy, holy, though the darkness blind thee, through the eyes of blindfold men, thy glory may not see. Lord, only thou art holy, and there is none beside thee. Perfect in power, in love and purity. Shall praise thy name in earth and sky and sea. Holy, holy, merciful and mighty. You are God in three persons. You are God in three persons. Oh, God in three persons. Blessed
How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful. That's a representation of who and what we are. We are God in three person, blessed Trinity. That Trinity dwells within each and every one of us. So today, as we move forward, it is important for us to remember the truth of our being. I'm going to say to you that it really doesn't matter what's happening in your life right now. The most important part is for you to remember who you are, to allow for Howard Thurman says, glad surprises. I say the kindly surprises, a spirit to fulfill itself within you. And part of that requires a dedication to the nurturing of your spirit, the nurturing of your soul, the fortifying of your soul. That is the reason 365 days a year and 366 days on a leap year, that we are here to support you in a sacred way and engaging in spiritual practice. And when we engage in spiritual practice, all the other stuff, that craziness, it just falls to the wayside. And that is the greatest message of this Easter Sunday. And so, whatever is going on in your life now, I'm going to invite you to remember that. I want you to also remember that if you need prayer and you need support, we have a team that is ready to pray with you, to support you in your growth and your evolution. All you need to do is just send in a prayer request. If you go to seatfm.org, you can go to the prayer page, click on the information if you do not have the app, and send us in a prayer request. If you have the prayer app, just click it on and send in a personal prayer request, and we will pray with you. And there are so many other great things that are happening within our community. One of the things I want to remind you of is right now, we're getting ready for our Prosperity Plus 3 program. And there are so many people that are demonstrating so much good right now because of that. I know that we have a family that is in the midst of planning for that move, a special move in their life that they've been working on forever. I know that we have people that have launched their businesses. This is part of that process of hope. It's coming up really soon. I want to invite you to join us for the Prosperity Plus 3. It's going to be a fun class. Not only is it going to be a fun class, it will be a class of empowerment. You cannot take the class without being empowered and lifted up. And so, with that in mind, I'm not going to hold you today because it's a sacred and it is a holy day. I really want to support you in terms of being present with yourself, being present with your families, and celebrating the gift of the day. If you're liking what we're doing, I invite you to go to seedfm.org and send a blessing to this community. And that blessing is your financial gift. That gift will support us in developing programs like this. And if you were a part of the women's celebration last month and last week, then you get an opportunity to see all the things that are available. And there's so much more coming forth. So with that in mind, Jim, do we have anything else we want to remind them? Larry, is there anything we want to remind them of?
No, not that I can think of.
I think we're good.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, I don't think we're good. And the reason I say that is you guys popped up on the screen and Larry forgot to remind them about his book study. And Jim forgot to remind them about his Thursday sound healing.
That's right. Wednesday evenings at 6:30, Building Your Fields of Dreams by Mary Morrissey. We continue our book study. Folks, please tune in. It's getting good. It's been good and it's getting even better. So we'll see you guys Wednesday evening, 6:30.
You look handsome today. I like your outfit, by the way.
Thank you so very much.
Looking rather dapper, yes. And so I guess I should remind everybody to join with me on Thursdays at noon, as we've been experimenting with sound and video now, because I'm adding video to the meditations for those that are more
And it's
visual.
wonderful.
Yeah, so please join me on Thursdays at noon.
Beautiful. And so with that in mind, we want to celebrate you once more. And we have a special treat for you right now. Okay, take it away, Jim.
I see the light of a beautiful morning. I am happy today. And just like a bird in the wind, I am soaring. I am happy today. I'm forgiving the past. I am living at last a new beginning. And I'm winning. I'm believing. And I'm achieving all things I've hoped for. I walk through that open door. I see the light of a beautiful morning. I am happy today. Just like a bird in the wind, I am soaring. I am happy today. I lift my voice and sing, 'cause I know I am free, a new beginning, and I am winning. I make new choices, my heart rejoices. I'm believing I can do anything. I see the light of a beautiful morning. I am happy today. I lift my voice and sing, 'cause I know I am free, new beginning, and I am winning. I make new choices, and my heart rejoices. I'm believing I can do anything. Ooh, it's a new day. Thank God I'm in it. I'm gonna live it. It's a new day. Thank God I'm in it. I'm gonna live it. I am happy. I am happy. I am happy today.
Mhm. I don't hear you. Mhm.
With that in mind, I'm going to say to our Facebook audience, Happy Easter. And we so enjoyed being with you. Join us this coming week because we have a lot of great, wonderful things unfolding. We're going to sign off and we're going to spend a little time with our audience. Love you. Have a blessed day. Thank you.